Wow. I can't believe it's already been that long. 4 months ago, I made the first video for this channel, which was an unboxing and review of the Gamefold table by Yarro Studios. Unfortunately, it didn't come with the accessories. Kind of important to do a full review. A lot of you guys were asking me to do updates, but honestly, I can only wait so fast. But luckily, just yesterday, I received the accessories. So let's just jump right back into it. So I was pretty excited to see that these accessories arrived after all these months, but I gotta admit, I was a little scared seeing how beat up the box was. Luckily, it does seem like everything arrived just about undamaged. So these are the trays that'll go along the rails, and so far honestly, they seem kind of cheap. But let's see how they hold up overall. So these ones will just clip right on here and then be mounted on in the inside. And of course, we'll be showcasing that in a little bit. And we received, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We received 6 of these. And here we have the cup holders. Same plastic. So there we go. This one actually has a neoprene mat on the inside of it, which is nice. And this one will be mounted on the top of it, and it's supposed to slide and then even go around the corners of the table as well. Ooh, I am actually really not fond of this color. Oh wow, when I ordered the brown side trays, I didn't think it was going to be this color. That's pretty disappointing, honestly. I really don't like this. What I would call this like a kind of a terracotta. I was expecting more of a deeper brown, but I really don't think this matches the table, like at all. But let's see how I feel once I get all of this stuff put together. So these are the table toppers, and they actually look pretty nice. Supposed to be dry erase, so we'll be testing this out later in the video. I also want to let you know that these whiteboards do arrive with a protective wrap, and although it took me forever to remove it, the whiteboard side did feel pretty nice to the touch. After I finally unboxed all the new accessories, I had to reassemble the table again. I also want to share some tips and grievances that I had with the table assembly, and the first one is setting up the legs. When it comes to these leg supports, I noticed that you should hook both screws on each of the supports before tightening, otherwise it might not align very well. Another trick that I've been using with the legs, which honestly should have been a given in the first video, is that you should set your leg height before setting the table upright. I noticed some people in the comments also had some problems setting up the leg braces as well. In my case, I found that it's easiest to clip on the brace first and then slide the L bracket to the center. It is a little bit tight, but it seems fine. So next we're going to go ahead and talk about the accessories. So let's start things off with the cup. Right off the bat, I already mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I'm just really not a fan of this material at all. It just really doesn't feel like a quality premium item at all. It does feel very cheap, and I know that they're trying to make the Gamefold very affordable, but it really feels like if I wanted to, I can squeeze and just snap this. I'm not going to because I don't like just breaking my stuff like that. But you will be given these clips, and these are the clips that are going to fit on these guys. In order to do this, you're going to actually install the clip first. So you're going to go ahead and put it up from under and then down. It's going to click into place, and that allows it to move. And then using that T, you're going to go ahead and clip that right on. Now it can't fall off. I don't know. I mean, it works. It holds the cup. Go ahead and move that on. The next one that we have is the tray. It's going to be this guy. So the tray, unlike the cup, doesn't actually have that lip. So if you wanted to, you could install this, this clip-on before, and then go ahead and clip this in
like that. Now, I did notice that the tray is pretty wobbly. There's a lot of give in this, a lot of movement, which also means that if you were to give it a little knock, that maybe it could just fall right off like that. So, don't know if they like it that way, but it is what it is, you know? So we'll go ahead and move that off to the side. And then last, we have this tray that they included. Same thing, same old plastic. This one actually feels thinner, and just really not very premium at all. Now, it does come with a nice neoprene mat. This is probably the best thing about it, honestly. At the bottom, you'll notice the connector is a flat side and a rounded side. All right, here, the flat side is going to be on the inside, and the rounded side is going to be on the outside. Pretty sure. So it's going to go on like this. You just pop it on right in there and push down, click, and now it's ready to go. Now, there is quite a bit of wobble to this, but the big appeal for this one is that you can slide it around the corners, and you can give it to people around the table. And that's not the only one that can actually do that. The other trays can do that as well, and it can actually clear under this. So it can also go wrap it around, and get it around the table. Not very smooth, but it'll work. And same thing with the cup. If you want to go ahead and do that, but hypothetically you're going to have something in there, might not clear. Actually, I could do a quick check. And a soda can does not clear its cup. And then this one does also go around the table. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and review the shelves. Now, there are two different sizes when it comes to these shelves. There's the full and the half. I thought I got the half because I think it's just more usable, but apparently I ordered the full, so oops. I also chose to get the brown because I thought it's going to complement the brown tabletop, the wood-like finish, a lot better. But I really didn't expect this ugly, like orange terracotta kind of color, which honestly I don't think suits the table at all. So I have massive remorse over this one. I do not like it whatsoever, but let's see if it at least functions okay. So I tried it before, and you actually need to clip these on before you put it on the shelf. So we're gonna go ahead and remove these three. They fit pretty snug. And because they can't go on the shelf first, you do have to kind of like guesstimate where they align on the rail. And then from there, you need to line it up. So I feel like this actually adds a few more steps than necessary, but I guess it does also prevent tipping. So these rails can definitely not slide around unless you remove that middle stabilizer. Yeah, I mean, these are pretty much fixed in place, and you really can't do anything about it. You'd have to remove the whole table, the whole tray, which isn't all that easy to remove. Especially, Jesus Christ, like I just smacked myself in the face. I've already injured myself at least 2 times in this video. Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite. It does seem functional. I would really prefer the smaller one. I don't know what happened and why I apparently went to checkout with the long ones, but they're fine. There's a lot of flex to it too. I'm just disappointed in it. The color is just so ugly that I really don't even want to bring it out. I don't know what they were thinking with this color because it doesn't match at all. So, but that's that.
And the last, and I'd probably label as the most important accessory, are the table toppers. Unfortunately, I ran into a huge issue that I couldn't pop the toppers into place. I was so confused that I took a step away to watch Yarro's video about it, and even after confirming I was doing everything right, I couldn't get anything to fit without using excessive force.
No, this is not going in. Okay, this is my final effort. Bend it completely backwards, pop it right in. Yeah, okay. All right, well, it worked. And look, there's so much friction on it. It's not gonna slide. It's moving the whole table around. So, all right, let's put this back into place and see if I can get the other two on.
Okay, so notice here that the clips for the toppers are spaced just too far apart in order to fit into the slots in the rails. And since we're already installing these table toppers, I figured we may as well try to use these tabletop stabilizers.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop that right in the middle. Clip on the one on the right, and this one's going to be the left one, and it does go in, but after I really forced and worked it earlier. Oh, actually, very interesting. It's actually very, oh. Well, that's not good. They're both in, but now it seems like the suction cup is way too tall. I do know that there are other colors, so maybe I can try that out. So they give you all of these. We'll go ahead, try this instead. Now, they do appear to be the same height. So, don't know, let's see. Nope. This is still as wobbly as ever. So these are completely useless unless they want no mat. Let's give that a try. Nope. Still doesn't matter at all. That is completely unpleasant. How much did I even pay for these shelves or these leaves? Because goodness, it's so unusable. One of the last things that I want to kind of talk about these leaves is that they're not interlocked by any means. What I mean is like one slides into the other, kind of like a floorboard. So if water goes through, it's going to get on your game. That's for sure. And also, especially with the concave, water is just going to pool, go right in. You're going to have a great time cleaning all of that up. All right, so now that we've been able to take a look at all the accessories one by one, how do we actually feel about the table as a whole? So originally, very first impressions, I was really excited to start using this table, take it out, bring it everywhere. But after I brought it to my first party, I was a little bit hesitant. I started to really learn what I did and didn't like about this table. Let's go ahead and start with the positive stuff. One of the things that I like about it is that the size is great. You can play just about any game that you want. No one's complained about that their pieces falling off or the game wouldn't fit and that they had to keep scooting the game around. Size is not an issue here, and I think it's good. Oh, you know what? Actually, when I asked a lot of the other people who played on this table what their impressions were about it, for the most part, it was actually really positive. Most people really liked the size of it. They liked the feel of it. I asked if the metal rail was going to be a problem or anything. No one complained. The only one complaint that I actually heard that was probably the loudest was that they didn't like the gap that the table created. And it's so funny because like I didn't even mention it or anything, and she totally brought it up completely by her own, which means that it is pretty substantial and very noticeable. And I can definitely tell exactly where the center of this is because of that gap. Overall, the general use of it does feel pretty good. So that would go into the pros as well. Is that it? Maybe, but that kind of starts to bleed into the cons. So unfortunately, I just really don't think execution was there. The materials of the accessories is so poor. Originally, I was kind of like looking around my house to see like if I can find a plastic comparison of what just what this feels like to me, because these trays are really not it. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's kind of like toy quality of plastic. But then I actually remembered that I had a little Hungry Hippos game, and I would be happy if these trays were the same materials and quality as this toy. We're not doing anything heavy on a toy like that, but we are supposed to be really putting in the miles on these guys. So these feel like they're gonna break. And I'm really not excited to kind of like take these around. I feel like there's also a lot of design flaws as well. Where am I going to keep those, the table stabilizer legs, for example? Just having them rattle around in the table is not a very great design. Have some clips, you know, have a place to put them, or have them built in like every other folding table, because having an extra piece, it's just completely unnecessary.
Oh, and one of the kind of funny things is that when I was setting up the table, the leg stabilizers actually fell out and hit me in the face because they're not secured anywhere. Ow, god dang it.
Let's see. Another one of the cons that I have is the weight, actually. So one of the pros was the size, but unfortunately what scales with that is the weight itself. So I went and measured all of the things that, that I had, and the table itself is 45 pounds. The mat is about 5 pounds, and all of the leaves, when you bundle them together, is 25 pounds. Altogether, that is 75 pounds that you are lugging around for something that's marketed as portable. It's not very portable for the average user. If they made a case on wheels for this whole thing, yeah, I think maybe it would be usable. I didn't buy the bag. I'm actually a little bit glad I didn't, but the packaging of this, like how am I actually going to move this? This is going to take a number of trips to get anywhere. Are you going upstairs? Are you going down the block? You know, it's just not as portable as they wanted it to seem. All right, and one of the big ones to talk about is the price point. So altogether, I spent nearly $700 for this. And honestly, I just really would not recommend anyone to spend $700 for it. I mean, hey, if you want to buy it off of me for $700, I mean, I am more than happy to sell it to you for that, really. The quality of it is just not even close to that. The amount of bowing for this material, I mean, I get it. It's a long, it's a long table, so there's bound to be some bowing, but the measurement should be a whole lot better overall. I mean, that's pretty simple in just about any kind of engineering. And so these feet, I know were meant to combat it, but why are they so bad? And even when you stand it up like this, the feet are taller than the leaf itself. I don't know who designed it, but it's just done very poorly, unfortunately. I like that there was the thought behind it, but the execution is beyond terrible. A lot of things do function, like this tray. This tray is totally good. It's pretty good. When you roll dice on it, they stay on it, and it moves and goes around corners perfectly fine, but you gotta watch out for your cups because it will not go past that. So you gotta make sure you get your cup and then bring it all the way around so that you can pass it along. There are some things that I think could be done a whole lot better. Maybe there's going to be a version 2 that's going to be significantly improved over this guy. There probably will be. Looking at Yarro Studios' track record, they do seem to be popping out quite a few campaigns even during this one. Even if the second one comes out, I'd be very skeptical. I want to see some major improvements. These legs got to be completely redone. I don't know why they decided to reinvent it. I know that they're trying to reinvent the whole gaming table, but that was something that shot them in the foot, shot them in the legs, and it's just not good. Well, I prepped it already because I said that I was going to use it, but I have yay or nay. What are we going to do? And I wrote this in beautiful orange to match this beautiful orange tray that I definitely ordered as brown. Is this a yay or a nay? I would have to give this a nay. So luckily the whiteboard does work, so I'll throw that into the pros. It's actually a pretty good whiteboard. I'll give them that. But yeah, I think that's just about it for the review. I really wanted to thank you all for tuning in. If you watched the previous video too, I received so much great feedback. This is only the second video on this entire channel, so the amount of support that I've already been receiving is overwhelming, honestly. I really want to make this a thing. I want to do more board game content. I want to do games. I want to play games. I want to have fun. So if you're down for that journey, thank you. Subscribe. That's awesome. If not, thanks anyway for tuning in. I had an interesting journey with this. So yeah, thanks a whole lot. And I guess I'll see you later.